Hey guys, and welcome to the pack opening with us here at the Games Repository. We were lucky enough to have our hands on some Magic the Gathering 2015 Core Set. So let's dive on in. So first of all, we'll get rid of our marketing card. So first up, we have Borderland Marauders. One colour, some red, Human Warrior, which is a 1/2 creature. Whenever Borderland Marauder attacks, it gets +2/+0 until end of turn. This is a really nice efficient creature. For 2 mana, you get a 1/2, and whenever it attacks, it quickly becomes a 3/2. Really useful. Great in limited. Very strong pick. In constructed, might have some use in some red deck wins cases, but we'd have to see. Next up we have Ephemeral Shields. 1 colourless, 1 white instant with Convoke. Target creature gains indestructible at the end of turn. So 2 mana to give one of your creatures indestructible is quite useful anyway. Makes them survive any removal spell, except for -X/-X spells. And just helps them get through unscathed. The fact it's got Convoke means you can use it to surprise your opponents, even when it looks like you're all tapped out of mana. Quite a good spell. Very useful in limited. Could have some use as a budgetary card in constructed. Next up, Coral Barrier. 2 colours, 1 blue, Wall. It's a 1/3. It's got Defender. When Coral Barrier enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 blue squid creature token with Island Walk onto the battlefield. So for 3 mana, you get both a 1/3 Wall and a 1/1 creature with Island Walk. Great thing. Love the fact that they're bringing little squids into this. Would like to see the token card produced for it. As it stands, this wall is really useful. In limited, it makes a very, very useful blocker. And a 1/1 with Island Walk can be very useful if you're playing against another blue player. Good little spell. Next up, we have Sungrace Pegasus. 1 colourless, 1 white. For a 1/2 Pegasus creature with flying and lifelink. So for 2 mana, you're getting 1/2 with 2 abilities. This is a really efficient creature. Lifelink and flying are both great. Flying makes it very good with evasion itself. Also means it can block your opponent's creature with evasion. And with lifelink, you can chip away at your opponent's health total while slowly increasing your own. Love this guy. Really, really useful in limited. Constructed, I can't think of too many decks that would play it, but with the right equipment, could be devastating. Next up, we have Inferno Fist. This is a 1 colourless and red enchantment aura. Enchant creature you control. Enchanted creature gets +2/+0. Pay 1 red. Sacrifice Inferno Fist. Inferno Fist deals 2 damage to target creature or player. So for 2 mana, we get a +2/+0 enchantment. And that whenever we feel like it, we can pay the 1 extra red mana to shock an opponent's creature or the opponent himself. It's a very useful spell. Helps pump up our creatures that are difficult to block. Say creatures with evasion and things. If you're playing red-white, cast it on your Sungrace Pegasus. Really useful. If it looks like your opponent's going to kill the creature, you can pay the 1 red to sack this off in response to do 2 damage before losing it anyway. Good spell. Very useful in limited. Next up we have Hydro Surge. This is a 1 blue mana instant. Target creature gets -5, -0 at end of turn. Allows you to survive 1 extra turn before being hit in the face with a great big creature. Other than that, not terribly useful. Could help you finish off an opponent's creature while keeping one of yours alive. So it might have some use. It's a low tier pick in limited. Probably not so useful in constructed at all. Thanks for bearing with me through that sentence, guys. Next up we have Living Totem. This is 3 colours, 1 green, 2/3 plant elemental creature with Convoke. When Living Totem enters the battlefield, we put a +1/+1 counter on another target creature. So 4 mana for a 2/3 creature is okay. Anyway, it's got Convoke, which means you can cast it for less mana. The fact that it comes into play and puts a +1/+1 counter on another creature is really useful. The counter sticks around, it's not just till end of turn, makes one of your other creatures get buffed. Pretty good pick. Very strong for green in limited. Next up we have Typhoid Rats. This is a 1 black mana rat creature, 1/1 with Death Touch. This is a really efficient blocker. For 1 mana you can take out any of your opponent's creatures as long as they don't have some sort of evasion, but swing in recklessly. Great little blocker. Love him as a very early 1-drop in a black limited deck. Next up we have Siege Worm. This is a 5 colourless, green, 5/5 worm creature with Convoke and Trample. So on the face of it, 7 mana for a 5/5 with Trample is perhaps a bit steep, but its Convoke ability can help you play it so much quicker. Very useful. Nice to have a 5/5 fatty with Trample in play anytime. Great in limited. Next up we have Black Cat once again. Now a card we've seen in Magic since Innistrad now. 1 colourless, 1 black zombie cat creature, 1/1. When Black Cat dies, target opponent discards a card at random. Such a useful ability. Makes your opponents really think twice about attacking you. Nobody wants to discard a card at random. Very strong for limited. Next up we have Boon Weaver Giant. 6 colourless, 1 white, giant monk creature. He's a 4/4. When Boon Weaver Giant enters the battlefield, you may search your graveyard, hand and or library for an aura card and put it onto the battlefield attached to Boon Weaver Giant. If you search your library this way, shuffle it. So this could be incredibly useful for getting back your really powerful auras that you cast earlier in the game, sticking them on a creature who's already got a reasonably sized body to create a fatty that could be a major problem for your opponents. Its 7 mana cost is quite steep, but its ability can be breaking towards the end of the game. Not a bad guy, not the best pick. Next up we have Caustic Car. 4 colourless black enchantment aura. Enchant land. Enchanted land has tapped, target player loses 3 life. This can be a very useful way to force through some extra damage on opponents who are really behind a wall of nastiness that you just can't break through. However, it's got a very steep mana cost, so it can only be played late game. Making your opponent lose 3 life just by tapping a land is very strong, but the fact you've got to wait so long to do it limits its usefulness a bit. Next up, Sacred Armory. This is a 2 colourless mana artifact. Pay 2 colourless mana. Target creature gets +1/+0 end of turn. Pretty useful ability. You can make any of your creatures get a power increase to help them finish off attackers or help them finish off an opponent. It's not bad. Bit of a placeholder. The mana cost isn't too stringent on it though, which is quite useful. So it can help you if you're lacking a bit of damage when it comes to your creatures. Last but not least, we have our rare for this pack. Aggressive Mining. 3 colourless, 1 red, enchantment. You can't play lands. Sacrifice a land, draw 2 cards. Activate this ability only once each turn. It's an interesting card, to say the least. Allowing you to draw in red is very useful. Red doesn't mind sacrificing its lands to get its way. It's got a low mana cost, but you're only going to be casting it later on in the game anyway, when you don't want to be playing more lands. It helps you to draw some of the red burn to help you finish off your opponent. Overall, I'm not sure how much use it will see in Standard. In limited formats, I think its effectiveness might also be a bit limited, to say the least. Though it might have some use in decks that play things like Life from the Loam. Don't know. I'd have to explore that. It's not something I've looked at the minute. Anyway, thanks guys, and until next time.